So in this tutorial we're gonna add in some text to our app, and those are going to be the scores that you would get if, depending on where you land your coin, so like a 5 and a 3 and maybe a 1. So I could tell you what that code is, but we're gonna just instead of that, we're gonna actually use the API. So let's go back to the API and let's type in text into the search, and let's let the API do the hard work. So let's go back to that. New text sounds right to me. Scroll down and we've got some examples here. So single line sounds good, sounds about right. Let's copy that and let's see what happens when we put that on our screen. I'm going to put that just after the boundary separators, so let's paste that here. So we've got hello world. Let's just run it and see what that looks like. Alright, so we've got hello world there. A little small. It's probably small, and it'd probably be even smaller if it was on the iPad, because we're using the value of 16 here, which 16 is the size of it. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to do full width times 0.05. That's a lot bigger, and instead of having hello world here, I'm going to have the number 1. Save. Alright, so that's looking better, but it's a little high. We want that down here. So that will probably be like that's the X value. So full width times, now this is 0.2, so let's try 0.1. That looks like it's lined up quite nicely. And let's change the Y value to be the full height. Well, if I do full height, that would probably be around here. So let's have a look at what that looks like. Yeah, a little bit too low. So full height times 0.9. Let's try that. A little bit too high, so let's add a 5 to the end of that. That's perfect. Okay, so we've got my text here. I'm going to change this to my text 1. Load it, that's good. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these to our code. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change these numbers first. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5. And now what we want to do is change the value that's being displayed. So change this to 4, 5. Actually, what I want to do is I want to have 1, 1, 3, 3, 5. So I'll change this to a 1. I'll change this to a 3. I'll change this to a 3. And I'll change this to a 5. And we'll load it up, and we can see they're all here a little bit messy, so that's not very good. Let's start by changing the colors. So I'll change this to a 0. I'll change this to a 1. I'll change this to a 1 for the for both 3s. Still not really clear if that is a 1 or not, but we'll figure that out. Let's change this to a 1 for number 5. So that's green. So this number 3 needs to be here, so that's going to be 0.2. This is 0.1. This is 0.2, so this should be 0.3. Let's change that, see if that works. We've got a 0.3 there, brilliant. So that must be 0.4, that must be 0.5, so let's change this to 0.5. There we go. Change this to 0.7, and this one to 0.9. So we've got, that's looking pretty good to me. I'm not too sure about these 3s, they're a little bit dark to me, so I'm going to add in a little bit of green to these. That should lighten the colors up. Brilliant. So we've got some nice red, blue, green, and we've got some numbers in there. So we've basically got a point scoring game in here.